Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to a special edition of HCW Show Squared, the show that your usual format or formula of the Fun HCW Show podcast, and it's the power of, you guessed it, 2. I'm your host, as always, Dan, DP, or do you all say nowadays, D-P-Z. Yeah! And you may have noticed, unlike the video from Sunday, I'm not alone. I am joined by guests once again. Firstly, I am joined by someone that everyone was asking for a comeback, and by which I mean it was just him. I am joined by Ruff. Ruff, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Just, trying to keep talking and not be silenced by the man.
The man in this case being...
utter woke nonsense.
Got ya. And speaking of nonsense, I am joined by a third person. I am joined by someone who used to be on the channel regularly. Someone who was a founding member of this foundation. I am joined by the one and only Frozzy. Frozzy, how you doing? And welcome back.
Good, mate. I'm very, very good. I'm quite happy to be back. Like, I think we've been sort of talking for the last few weeks of maybe when you're sure I can appear, and it just so happens that here I am. So yeah, no, happy to be back on the channel. Loving what's been going on, and yeah, happy to be back involved.
Thank you. But yeah, so this is a special edition for HCW Show Squared in that it's not the usual format. It'll be the PLE special edition. So this is for NXT Halloween Havoc, whereas the TV show is already, as you've seen, it's already on the channel. By the time this goes out. But yeah, without any further ado, unless you guys have any comments you want to get out of the way beforehand, we can go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get it.
Let's go. Okay, so NXT Halloween Havoc for the 27th of October. Things are kicked off with a recap or hype package hosted by the returning Gigi Dolan. Last time we saw her was around March when she was involved in that thing with Ariana Grace.
Right, so I switched off a little bit, like, when I obviously left the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Did that ever get a definitive end? Or
Nope.
was that just, like, loads of segments that had nothing?
Pretty much.
Okay.
It's like, if you remember like Fallon Henley and Tiffany Stratton, and they got their crescendo sort of thing, or like Tiffany in the stables and stuff. Like this, this had nothing.
At least with Tiffany and Fallon, their feud culminated in essentially Tiffany's send-off match from NXT. Like from what I heard is, well, it was an injury that kept Gigi off of TV for a long time. But it's not like they really were doing much of nothing with Ariana Grace. So,
no, I just remember a few segments like in a park where she was sat on a bench and they were talking, and then I don't really remember it getting like an ending. So yeah,
Black? Absolutely not.
They were doing this whole thing of like Ariana was trying to like reform Gigi from being an anarchist into being more like Ariana. Like,
what do you call it, a Georgina? Well, wasn't that what it was?
Yeah, Georgina.
Yeah, we call it Georgina. Like, it was fun little comedy, but I'm assuming that's when an injury happened, and so there was obviously no end game to it, so they just dropped that all together.
Yeah, and they sent Ariana to TNA to do her thing over in TNA.
The liaison.
Yeah. With her father who's not actually her father. Well, no, father who is her father, but not actually. Because she chooses to refuse it.
They acknowledged that Slammiversary, so
yeah. But yeah, hopefully we see more Gigi in the future, because if she's doing this, she might be cleared again, or at least on the very close to recovery.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But obviously this is a PLE, so there's no, bullshit segments beforehand or whatever. So we go straight into our first match, which is the Tables, Ladders and Scares match for the NXT Men's North American Championship between challenger Obafemi and champion Tony D'Angelo. So Tony retains. He hits a spine buster through a table to Oba and pins him for the 3 count. I rated this 4 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed this match. It was a very entertaining TLC match, a great way to open the show, and a great way to set the tone for what was to come. Oba continues to have good shows and great showings. I wasn't a fan of how it ended with the family interference. That might be just me, because I know it's like a 4-on-1 dynamic, but I felt it kind of ruined the moment a little bit.
It's just like, it's one of them where I think we're pretty set that Oba's going to go to the main roster, and you don't want to make him look like a complete chump on his way out. So 4-on-1, not the worst, because he still looks very, very strong in it, but I do see what you're saying. The ending was a bit, I don't know, I just felt like he could have done it better.
Yeah, that's fair.
For me, I don't think Oba's going to the main roster just yet, because the reports that were out there, those were unfounded, for one. 2, I will say this too, it was more so a thing of, I think it was just like, in the weeks leading up to this, Oba was deliberately targeting members of the family, including, on the Go Home show. Apparently, him and somebody else had a little shum worked out to try to get Rizzo taken care of. But the 4-1 at the end there was more so, it was supposed to be a way for Oba to truly get his comeuppance, but I agree that it is still kind of weird, especially with Tony being the babyface hero in this aspect, but then again, Mafia boss, so as far as you can go right there. Overall, it was a really fun match, just 2 big dudes just in this. I wish it was, typical, retrieve it from the top of the ladder type TLC as opposed to win by pinfall.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it was a really fun match. Really fun match. And Tony can move forward now.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Oba stays in NXT, because I will say this, Oba's still young, he's still green, but I think it would be best for him to stay in NXT. But if you're going to have him stay in NXT, what's the plan for him? I think the plan should be to crown him at Stand and Deliver. Or better yet, have him win Iron Survivor.
I was going to say, I think the Iron Survivor is a better fit for him, because he's someone who absolutely could dominate that field and literally be the only guy getting pins in that match. I also don't know if you guys realised, when he pinned Oba's shoulder was up.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Obviously he was on the table and stuff, but his arm was literally up during the pin.
I'm trying to picture it because I did like I said, I watched it live as well. So, I'm trying to think how he went through the table and then how he was.
It was literally a spine buster through the table.
Spine buster through the table.
Yeah, because now I'm thinking of it, he wasn't cleanly on the mat, was it? So,
Southampton.
Well, that's the risk you run with a lot of these hardcore stipulations.
Yeah.
So,
I suppose in that context,
ultimately,
the table with the floor sort of thing.
Yeah.
But ultimately, this was to set up like this. This is over second loss, but it's just like he's uber protected.
Yeah.
Uber protected.
Very much so. But yeah, I think it's a very good opener. And I'll say this now: this was my high point of the show.
Yeah, we'll talk more. But
Yeah,
it was.
Oh, it peaked here. It definitely peaked here. Well, to be fair, the opening part of this show is really fucking good.
Yeah.
But man.
Seems to be a theme on the last couple of PLEs I've watched, whether it be main roster or NXT, that the start of the show is great, and then the rest of it falls off because they can't recover. I think it was Drew and Punk with their Hell in a Cell that opened, stole the show, and just ruined the rest of the show. Not on purpose. It was weird.
And that's always a sort of risk you take when you have a match like that opening a show. Like, not only just like Drew and Punk, but like having your high octane match at the beginning.
Yeah. I will say this though, like, you would have loved. I know you personally. You would have loved if the final boss came out at the end of the NXT, right?
That's the whole reason that match went first anyway on that PLE, because he was doing what he did. But yeah, that's main roster. Let's carry on with NXT.
Yeah. So yeah, moving on from that match, we go into an interview with Lexis King. He's asked, has he found his corner man yet for the Heritage Cup match on Tuesday that I've already covered? Lexis says he hasn't found one yet, but he's at the top of his game, but he can't find anyone. He's getting constant rejections, ghosted emails, messages, and he insists that he's not like his father. Then suddenly, a very British voice comes in and says, "I'll be a corner man. It's only bloody William Regal."
Nice.
He talks about second generation superstars and that the label that comes with it, because they're like their fathers or their mothers or whoever the wrestler is. They shake hands, and that seems to be set in place for Tuesday. And I can confirm that is what happened on Tuesday.
Yeah, I can also confirm that the heel did not accept help. What the hell? Make it make sense.
Well, is he really a heel at this point?
Not now. No, he's just blatantly just turned.
Oh, I really don't want to cheer. Like, I don't want to cheer Lexis King unironically.
I think he's definitely on that road where he's trying to be less like his father, and by that extension, that means he's being less heel and being more honourable in the ring.
We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I assume we're getting the whole transition though down the line into him being more like his father.
I hope they eventually just drop this name. Just let him be him.
Brian Pillman Jr.
I will say this. I just hope this comes with more consistent and stronger booking if he's going to be a focal point of the show.
Look, as long as we're not going back to him fighting Eddie Thorpe over like rock music, like honestly, it's fine.
Anything is an improvement at this point.
Anything is an improvement. Like at least he isn't jobbing out the Dante Chin.
No, but he has the worst beard I've ever seen, and I'm bringing this up because I know we were talking about it in a server. But I just
it legitimately looks drawn on.
It is.
We know a guy that is like an unabashed like Lexus stan. Like wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
why does he?
I don't know. Like it's I don't get it. Can we move on, please?
Yeah, this is taking up more time than it needed.
Yeah.
So moving on from Alexis King to a tag team match. It is Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez teaming up to take on Julia and Stephanie Vaquer. And to no one's surprise, I don't think, Julia and Stephanie win. I rated this 3.25 stars. It was good. Like we alluded to earlier, with matches beginning the show, taking it out the rest of the show. That was what happened here for me. I didn't feel myself being invested in this match because of what came before it. In that, this felt like a much slower match compared to the first. And that's purely because it wasn't a stipulation match. Like, it was just a standard tag match.
Yeah.
Like, if it made a tornado tag or something like that could have added more to this. But the placement on the card, it being second, it was always going to fall short of something that came before it, unless the match before it was dog shit. Like, it was just, I don't know. Also, Cora's first match being this was kind of, it was okay, but I feel like she would have benefited more from doing more in-ring stuff, like the short 2 or 3 minute matches that you do with Brindley Reese or Carl Petrovich or something.
I get that, but like Cora was big before she went, and she needed like a big return. But when you do a big return like that, and your first match is going to be like 15 minutes or so like that, it needs to be tagged. I think they did the right thing in terms of this return, because she was on the losing team, but now they've right, she's back, she's been in a big match, and you can continue to put her in big stuff, whilst also protecting her from a horrific injury. So
that's fair. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
I will say this: I didn't give my star rating for the previous match. I would have said 4.5.
Oh.
This one, this one, you said 3.25. I would have put 3.5. Just not much to it. In my opinion, this was basically everything that it needed to be, and like Froz said right here, it was like your debut. You had Cora's big return in Chicago, and you had Stephanie pop up, all these combustible elements coming in, and obviously throwing into a tag team match, and it really protects Cora more than anything else in the spots that she had. She did her job pretty well. She didn't look completely out of place, but I will say this, man, Roxanne was taking heat for about 80% of that match.
Yeah, she really was.
And I mean, she was putting in the shift right there, dog.
She even took the pin in the match, so that's
I really was surprised that people were surprised at that.
Yeah,
I thought that was the obvious thing to do. Like, that sets up potentially another challenger.
Mm-hmm.
Cora doesn't lose the first match back by being pinned.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I thought it was obvious.
Like, I was saying last week to Craig that I felt like this could have done with a bit more than being just a standard tag match, and I thought, do one of those things where it's like, make the tag match for a singles title, and have it so that if Julia or Stephanie pinned Cora, then Roxanne would lose the title. But saying that, I do like the way this turned out, being on title, because it sets up something for the future as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you, dog. You've been hanging around Craig a little too much. That's some Vince Russo TNA booking right there.
Yeah, I was going to say that's Impact booking, that is.
I mean, it probably is, to be honest.
Wait till next week and we get a reverse battle royal.
Hey, let's get it reverse battle royal style, brother.
Let's just go with every single match is still cage.
I kind of do remember when the Outcasts were doing the whole thing of, oh yeah, we're the Outcasts, we're coming in, taking over, and we're boo all the AEW original women.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? Ironically, I feel like Shawn Michaels is doing that storyline, but unironically, it's better because all of your heel OG women, all your OG women here are actually heels.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
And you're not going to boo. You're not booing Stephanie. You're not booing Juliet this time. And plus, also, there's a third person that has shown up that you haven't mentioned yet.
That's correct. I mentioned just yet. So post match, the lights go out, and from above in the rafters, it's Zarya.
Sting!
Sorry, yeah.
Surprise, surprise!
He just points. He's like, he looks at him, points his bat, and he's like,
Yeah.
No, it was actually Zarya, believe it or not. And she just looks on, just stares, pretty much.
Like everyone else did, but they paid to do so.
Yeah. So after this, we go backstage again. We are joined by the team of Uncle and Nephew, which is Cedric Alexander and Javon Evans. And they are talking about what happened last Tuesday, where Javon wasn't sure that he should have slapped Nathan, etc., etc. Cedric advises to slow it down. Stop, don't be hot-headed, keep calmer, that sort of thing. However, he is pleased that Javon did actually do it, because otherwise they wouldn't have the tag title shot they have next week. And then they do a tandem salty. I'm not sure what I missed with that, but apparently they said they're saying salty now.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't fucking remember that.
Javon has bouncy, so I guess that's something to do with a tag team thing, salty. I don't know.
Maybe. Well, I'm sure we'll find out over the coming weeks.
Yeah.
I will say this, like, Javon and Cedric are a really good team, and I just appreciate Cedric having things when, you know, everyone else...
Just in general, he has something. No, but no, I get that, because, like, after 205 Live, he had nothing, really.
And then Hurt Business, and, you know, they prematurely broke that up for no fucking reason. Then they teased it coming back, and then nothing came of it.
Because they're on
a different channel.
I think he had the most talked about moment of that initial tournament for the Cruiserweights, where he was signed, like, directly by Triple H, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
because that was directly after his match with Ibushi, right?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. But yeah, Cedric is doing stuff again, thankfully. So moving on, we go on to match 3. It is the ambulance match between Ridge Holland and Andre Chase. Ridge wins when he hits a Redeemer on the ramp and throws Andre into the back of the ambulance. I rated this 2.25. It was alright at best. It was slow. For me, it was slow and at times quite boring. They were kind of playing it safe with the match, which on one hand I do respect it, but doing that, it kind of ruined the match too. I'm not sold on Ridge being, you know, the guy. But hey, they need filler opponents for the world champion, right? Between PLEs.
Yeah, it's ironic that you've got me and Dion on this one, because I was not happy with this. I was pretty solid that Ridge was going to win this, and Dion taught me round.
I'm pretty sure I did too.
Yeah, it was both of you. Yeah. It was both of you. After I spoke to Ruff, I was just like, right, I'm gonna see what DP's thinking, and then I messaged DP, and he was thinking the same as Ruff, and I was like, I must just be like wrong here, because two people who religiously watch this program are telling me that Andre Chase is going to win, and then Ridge Holland wins, and I just wait to throw my TV through the window.
They put the match so wrong as well. It should have been the big Chase U reunion. Duke's back. Riley's here. Thea's here. Everyone's here. Andre wins. Throws him in. It's an ambulance match as well. It isn't like he's getting injured. Like or off TV for a bit. He's gonna put him back in an ambulance. Like Ridge is not going to lose heat or lose momentum because he got thrown into an ambulance. Like. Andre winning made the most sense to me, which is why I said Andre would win.
Story, bro. But you know, Chase, you can't ever have good things.
That is true. Yeah.
Andre Chase gambling. Andre Chase gambling all the way to school's funds.
Mm-hmm.
They win the tag titles just to lose them back in 3 weeks.
Twice. The first title run was also about 3 weeks.
Yeah, why can't Chase you have good things?
I don't.
Because like I personally thought it was going to be exactly how DP said it. Like, shoot, even Thea wasn't there, dog. Not even Thea was there.
I don't know. I don't know.
Like, and when you messaged me immediately afterwards, Froz, I was like, yeah, bro, my bad.
Luckily, in the grand scheme of things, it meant very little, but...
It meant very little. I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. Like, at the end of the show, it kind of justified it, but I'm like, they are really trying to make this guy into a big threat, and I'm like,
yeah. And I know he's trained. I know he's more refined now in the ring. But every time I hit him, I see him hit that fucking base suplex overhead. I get a slight trigger because of Big E.
I get you. Like, again, they're trying to make this guy seem like a really big threat, so they sacrificed the entirety of Chase U just for this guy.
At this rate, just burn the university down. Like, just have a segment where he's burning the university down.
Like, he went through the whole entire faction.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like,
yeah, this match was awful, by the way. Like, I know you rated it 2.5, but I thought you were being generous there, DP.
Yeah,
I did not enjoy this.
I would have gave it a 2.
Like, if this
because
was
they
on
didn't
TV, it would have been fine.
Yeah, it was a TV match on a PLE. It was, it
would have been better on TV.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It would have been better.
It would have been, because it wouldn't have gotten this much time.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It's just Ridge seems to be the guy they're going for right now, and that is the sad reality that we're stuck in. Moving on, though, we go backstage to a segment from earlier this week. Fraction are training, and they discuss the events on Tuesday, where Nathan and Javon got in a scrap. Nathan's in denial that he's a hothead, and actually explains why he is a hothead. He named us Orton, and he just was like, "Hey, Nathan, you're a hothead." After that, we get an interview with Ava. Ava recaps what we already know for next week with the tag title match and the Heritage Cup match, and she also announces a match for the November 6th show in Philadelphia. Lola Vice is taking on Jada Parker in a hardcore match with ECW alumni Dawn Marie as the referee.
It's so random.
It really is. Ruff, you got any thoughts on Dawn Marie being the referee?
Hell yeah, bro.
DM's looking for that HLA.
Oh no.
I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. I wouldn't have gotten Dawn Marie to be the special guest referee for that. I would have personally gotten either Francine or Lita, but
yeah,
Tammy Lynn, bitch, nice to see her making a comeback.
Yeah. So moving on to the NXT Women's North American Championship match, which is match 4, and it's a gauntlet match. We have the team of Fatal Influence, Jasmine Nix, Jessie Jane, and Fallon Henley against the champion Kalani Jordan. So the way it works, for those who aren't aware, is Kalani will have to go through each member of Fatal Influence one at a time to win here, and win 3 times to retain her title. But can she do it? The short answer is no. And she loses on the 3rd match to Fallon Henley. Fallon Henley is your new Women's NXT North American Champion. I rated this 3 stars. I quite enjoyed it, in all honesty. I was slightly taken out of it with it being a PLE match, because again, I felt like before this would have been better on TV. However, with the title change, it made more sense for me as to why it was on PLE. I did notice on the IWC, which I know is a bad thing to do, really, but everyone seems to hate it going 15 minutes for a 3-match gauntlet, which I thought that was fine. Like, you had like essentially 3 TV matches in one gauntlet. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that match. What did you guys think?
You want to go first, Roz?
Yeah, I didn't really, again, enjoy this. I also thought the result was not the right one. Yeah, I thought this was... It was the ending, it was the 3rd match. It was like, she won the first 2, and then I was convinced, I was like, yeah, the way she's gone through the first 2, she's going to win. And it would have made sense for then someone else to beat her down the line. But they've just... Why have they done this? Why have they given this title to Fallon? I don't get it.
I think there's a very clear answer for that.
Well, I said this on... Well, here's the thing. I said this on Twitter, but then again, this is my 5th Twitter account, so no one knows this account. So don't get traction like I used to. Kalani Jordan was a good babyface champion, but she did not have a defining moment as champion. And for a title this new, you need to have a defining champion with a defining title reign. We're going to have defining moments with this title that's going to make it memorable.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, Fallon turning heel in the lead up to Heat Wave, and then her not actually being the one when she probably had the most momentum out of all of those girls. She should have won it back then, and she's winning it here. And the thing is, she won in a really good fashion as a heel, good character. I personally didn't like the match as much, but I would still rate it a 3. I would still rate it a 3 based off the story of it all, and how it showcased the characters of Kalani and Fallon. Because Kalani, while I said she's a really good babyface champion, she really proved it out there. And she laid it out all in the ring. Really good. But, I personally would have liked it better if it was just Fallon versus Kalani.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after the match, the lights go out again. And we get the weird pop-up vignette thing of like the road and the loans and road and all that. And then someone get punched in the jaw, and then suddenly the lights are back, sort of like back on the ring, and no one's there.
The Undertaker.
Oh shit! And suddenly you hear a dong. Undertaker wants the North American title. But no, they're all staring. It's a cool camera shot they do here, where all 3 women are just looking at the edges way. And you assume, back in the rafters again. And then, no, the camera pans out a bit more, and then Zara's just behind all 3 of them. and then she lays them out, basically.
Movie magic.
So I think, to answer the question Froz posted earlier, Fallon's champion because she's losing it to Zarya.
Yeah, but like, it didn't need to switch to go to her. It really didn't.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I feel like they might be saving that moment of Kalani v Zarya
Well, that now only makes sense if Kalani's going to win.
Well, yeah, that only makes sense. In my opinion, I think the Fallon's probably transitional champion over to Zarya. That's my thought process. And to be fair, they probably want to have Zarya have a defining her as a baby face in it all.
For now,
with her
at least,
going up against. Yeah. And you run the risk of kind of muddying the waters with her presentation going up against Kalani, who is, the purest white meat of baby faces.
Yeah.
In the women's division at this moment.
But yeah, Zarya's here, and that is pretty much the end of it. And Zarya just celebrates beating up women. We get an interview next with the family, Tony D'Angelo and his crew. They intend on celebrating. However, Adriana Rizzo knows who attacked her last week, and she says that she'll get her on Tuesday. Cool. I wonder who that was.
Very obvious.
We go back to the ramp area. Booker T is explaining how the Devil's Playground match is going to work in the main event, saying it could end here at this tombstone, it could end here at this tombstone, it could end somewhere in the arena, and suddenly the robots behind him opens up and Tatum Pax is in there. She's in there. What's that going, Ruff?
That fucking go home show to Halloween Havoc was fucking insane.
We had someone getting locked in a rope box, and it was so much time backstage that it formed cobwebs over it that she was in there. But no, Ava comes out to try and talk to Tatum. Tatum wants to face Wendy though, and Tatum just spins the wheel because that's how it works now. You just spin the wheel and you get a match that way.
Yeah, you make the deal, brother.
Of course, yeah. With who? With Ava. The wheel lands on the casket match, and Ava just makes the match official. So cool. Tuesday's gonna be a casket match.
This is why you love NXT. You just get whatever.
It's so
pure
weird.
Cocaine booking.
Yeah, it's so weird.
You just gotta love it after a certain point. And Shawn Michaels taking over has made this show like so different than what it was.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, after that we do move on to the main event of the show, which was the NXT Championship Devil's Playground match. For those who aren't aware, Devil's Playground just means no DQ, but spooky. Between champion Trick Williams and challenger Ethan Page. And of course, to absolutely everyone's surprise, Trick wins with a trick shot and retains. Yay. I rated it 3.25 stars. It was definitely a better match than the last one, but saying that, it just kind of lacked anything significant. Even the blood looked fake. It's just like these two don't have good chemistry in the ring, and it comes across that way.
Oh. Significantly, it didn't go very long, did it? Just going to throw that out there.
No, it went about 15 minutes. If I had to calculate.
No, it went 18, dog. Apparently, no, not 18. It went.
Yeah, it's 18. Maybe if you count the entrances and the ring announcement.
Yeah.
Let me find this. I am going to cage match for this because. I'm sorry, dog.
there was a whole discourse online among the groups that we're in about Trip Williams and his title matches. Sorry, his matches in general, not just title matches. And that he very rarely can go over 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It went right under 16.
Yeah.
Right under 16. I'm gonna be completely real with you. I like this match, and I know what you're going to say. Because I'm unapologetically on the side of, if the guy is that massively over, you belt him up. But yeah, I don't need to ever see these guys face each other again.
Yeah,
nobody needs to see these guys face each other again.
But
this is a strong 3-star series. Like, Heat Wave really carried this. Like, I don't want to praise Sean Spears. I am not going to praise Sean Spears. All praise for that match goes to Javon Evans. Like,
how dare you not praise the chairman?
No, I will never praise the chairman. I will never praise him. Like, this, like, I will say this, Trick has great babyface selling, but these two don't bring out the best in each other.
No.
And
I don't know if it's Trick selling or he's just genuinely tired.
It
might be a little bit of both.
It could be that, honestly, because it's like, he's a very, what's the word? He seems to get gassed quite easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm just interested in seeing him face someone else. Like, I was intrigued by him versus Noam Dar, but we're never going to get that. I want to see him versus Wesley, just to see what that's like, before eventually just, you know what, hey, feed him Nova.
I mean, you are getting someone else though, aren't you? Because you're getting Rich Holland. You got what you wanted.
That might be the one match that is worse than this series.
I don't.
Like DP, Dan.
Yo.
I'm suffering, dog. I'm being a Trick Williams fan. Like, it's hard out here, dog.
Now you know how I feel about Lola Vice. Like, I'm the only fan of her, like, among the podcast circles.
Froz, what happened, dog?
I don't know. You're just out there on your own. Do you want me to throw you a Ruff or something?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. This is because I'm living in the boonies.
I've got a rubber ring somewhere. I'll give it a throw, man.
But yeah, no. Froz, what do you think of the match?
It was just very average. I was more it sounds really bad, but like when it was getting towards the end, I just wanted it to finish. They were for very selfish reasons. It was like, the longer this match went, the worse it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, another 10 seconds and I was done. So then when he pinned him, I was like, oh, thank God for that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, it wasn't a great match because I think I was constantly on edge.
Yeah.
for other reasons. Like, so
you were pissed at me. You were pissed at me.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, it happens. But it did take away from the match for me. Like, to just say that the match was either good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think if I was to like try and take that side of things out of it and just look at it, I don't think it was a great match. And I think we made it quite clear that the best match on the card was the opener, and everything was going to fail to live up to the expectation. but we didn't need that match again anyway.
No.
So yeah, once you've seen it, like it's one of them that you've seen it. There's nothing more that they could do to make it any better than it was the first, second time, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I don't know.
Definitely better than the first time. My bad. It was definitely better than the first time. The first time, like,
Stipulation held that. Like, because you've got more leeway with the step, but even then, I don't think it was great.
I will say this. Apparently, we're harsher critics than Dave Meltzer. Because you want to know what he gave this?
No, God, what do you give it?
He gave it 3.5.
You don't know what he gives me? An aneurysm every time he posts a rating.
Oh man, listen.
But no,
he really gave that 3.5.
I mean, I will admit this is probably the best match they've done, Trick and Ethan, but that's because of the stipulation. Like the previous two they've done were like for the title, but like they were standard matches, and both of them just were horrible to watch.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is with Trick. I don't enjoy his work. Like how you can have a bad match with Carmelo Hayes is beyond me.
How do you have 3 with him?
I think it's more so a thing of with Trick. It's more so a thing of he's got to have someone that's got to bring out that nastiness in him that really gets him like going, like the Dijags, the Dragonoffs, the Pete Duns, you know, those types that can really bring it out of you.
The Ridge Hollands.
That's.
But at the same time, you've also got to have watchable matches with everyone else on the roster. You can't just hang your hat on the same 5 or 6 people. You're not going to be able to rehash them every year for the next 15 years.
That is also very true. And that's also the failing of... Well, it's also the failing of he was just Melo's sidekick for, you know, a year before he had an actual for real match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, you can look at his cage match, dog. Like, it's like, let's go back. Let's go back.
This is your life.
It's only 2 pages. Literally only 2 pages. Because he did not have like a for real singles match he did not have a televised singles match until like 2023, and the previous one before then was Trick versus Ricochet in September of 22.
Yeah.
Like, that's massive. Like, cooling off. He needed the reps more than anything else. And them not really giving them to him. And, like, sure, he got hot. He was Johnny on the spot, you know, in 2023. And, like, the Dragunov match made people see stuff in him. But he's got to be consistent. And like I said prior, he's got literally everything you want. He has a marketable look. He looks great. He talks really good. It's just a matter of, you know, when does the bell ring? Can we have a good match each and every time? And at this point, it's very debatable.
I honestly think he suffers from the same problem that Cody does. Only difference is Cody's a fantastic wrestler, but like it's the same promo more or less every single time that he does, and everything he has been handed to him in terms of opportunity. I mean,
yeah.
So it's just, I don't know, like it's very clear he's that hand-picked guy and has been for the last few years.
Few years, I mean, a few months, dog.
No, they were conditioning him since Carmelo. He's been conditioned to be that way because they knew Carmelo was going to the main roster soon.
Obviously, yeah.
It's been a good amount of time.
I will say this though. They wouldn't have stuck with him if he didn't give them something to believe in.
Yeah, well, they did all this with Roman, didn't they? Where they forced him on people and stuff like that. But now look at him.
True. So what we're saying is we need Trick to join the bloodline. Be the trouble chief.
we need the Trick line.
That's it.
But I'm just saying, the guy is over. Like, he's not that over pushed.
He's over,
He-
but I would say he's over pushed. He is. Like, no one else gets the amount of positive PR that he does. Like, forced onto TV, I mean.
Yeah. I'm with DP on this, Ruff. I'm afraid you're still out on that raft on your own, mate.
But I'm not saying Trick's bad or anything like that. Like, he's got a future, but it's just
there's something there, and there is obviously.
It's just right now he shouldn't be a world champion.
Yeah. He needs to learn the consistency of having good matches.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
I'd even say that Tony D'Angelo has got a better grasp of that. Of having more consistent matches at a longer duration.
But you also got to realize Tony D has gotten a lot more reps too.
Yeah,
exactly.
so
He
cut his teeth. Like DP said, he's cut his teeth now and everything like that, and he can have longer matches. So why have Trick Williams with the World Championship of that brand if he's not cut his teeth properly? Like, just go back, take a step back, go and start putting on good matches, and then work back to the title.
Mm. The moment you can have a match that's not stipulated, that's a good match, is the moment you know that you can move forward from that. Yeah.
Especially, 15 to 20 minutes is a pretty sweet spot for that type of match as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not bad that he can, he might gas after 15, but if that 15 minutes is good, then it's whatever.
Yeah. But also, it's like, if you think back to the deadline match that he won, Trick, they're 20 minutes, 30 minutes? I think they are? The Iron Survivor matches?
Yeah.
25,
sorry, yeah. How much of that time did he spend not in the ring, or resting, or something like that?
Yeah.
Because I think he was the last person in.
Oh, there you go then.
Let me check.
Yeah, I feel like he was last.
He probably was last. Yeah, figured on there. It's just
reinforces the point, doesn't it?
It's like Roman Reigns, but it's NXT.
Yeah, basically. And the thing with Roman is, Roman gasses, but his matches are that slow pace now.
Mm-hmm.
That he doesn't gas.
Yeah, but also they're slow, but they're not boring.
No. Because he adds character to it by doing what he does. He talks and stuff like that. It makes it very obvious what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
He turns it into a morality play.
Yeah, exactly. And
cinema.
We're not saying Trick needs to do that, but you can learn from it.
Absolutely. You can adapt it into your own style. And...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just Trick's at the moment. I'm not
curious
convinced.
case.
Yeah. I want Trick.
I'm not looking forward.
I now want the Trick line.
You can go ahead and tell them what happened afterwards, because I am not looking forward to this. I am not looking forward to this at all.
Oh my god, we've got to cover that. I forgot about that.
So,
no.
Post match, Fucking hell. Post-match, Trick is celebrating, whatever. When he's attacked by
And then nothing
Ridge.
happened and he went off the air.
I wish I could say that. He's attacked by Ridge Holland. Yeah. Ethan gets in Ridge's face, but then they decide to work together to attack Trick. Cool. Then, very randomly, in comes Ray Dudley to save the day, and he very weakly hits Ridge and Ethan, throws them out the ring. And then Bubba and Trick are standing in the ring, and then that's your ending shot.
Ray Dudley, the ending shot of an NXT PLE in 2024.
Don't mind, they fucking shoehorned in his podcast throughout the show.
Yeah.
You had him and what's his name? Dave LaGreca.
Yeah.
Going like, oh my god, Bubba, can you believe what happened there?
I'm gonna be real with you here. Like, as much as I'm not looking forward to it, this was the most hilarious outcome possible.
We're gonna get a tag match, aren't we? That's the thing. We are gonna get the tag.
You know, that's confirmed. Yeah.
Yeah, like I will say this: Trick must have been raised in Dudleyville because he had Reverend Devon for his music video, and now he's got Bubba Ray, got Brother Ray here.
It's the start of the Trick line, mate. It's a thing.
Trick Williams,
bring
the
in
Dudley Boys.
Yeah. Wait, Spike comes back.
Oh no!
Hey, bring in Reverend Devon's two twin sons. Let's do it. Like,
was that already in NXT? Devon's sons.
I don't think they really looked at Devon's sons. That's the fucked up part.
Because aren't they in?
I think
Booker T's promotion, aren't they? As well.
Well, they trained at the Team 3D Academy. I know that for sure.
Oh, okay.
Been on the Independents, but either way, it's just like I laughed my ass off because Bubba Ray Dudley is making the save for Trick Williams against Ridge Holland and Ethan Page. What in the fucking Mad Libs is this?
in the developmental brand,
Yes.
technically.
I low-key, I hope, and this is more of like the masochist in me, hopes that the tag match ends with Bubba turning on Trick.
It'd be more interesting than seeing Trick versus Ridge.
Honestly, move Ridge out the way, and at the PLE, Bubba Ray Dudley versus Trick Williams on the title.
It'll be the greatest, worst 15-minute match ever.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever.
The worst part is, Bubba Ray Dudley has most likely wrestled a longer than 15-minute singles match.
Probably more recently as well. We all agreed that the Trick line's going to be Bubba Ray, Devon, Spike Dudley, and Deacon Batista.
Batista?
Deacon Batista! That's how he debuted on the main roster.
Of course, yeah. I didn't hear the Deacon bit.
Yeah, Deacon Batista.
So I've been saying that just like normal Batista, just like the way he is now, just
throwing a stray Batista. He's not doing anything there. Go on.
Fucking bringing this Drax the Destroyer as part of the team, mate.
Yeah. Leviathan, did someone say?
How about Prototype?
Like this, like no one's doing it like Shawn Michaels. No one is.
Like you see those images on Twitter of like Booker of the Year, and it's like Shawn Michaels, like.
One day he'll watch this show and he'll like one of our ideas. He'll be like, good idea.
we think someone is watching the show, like someone in some capacity is watching the show, because like there's a few things that me and Craig have said that have come to fruition.
Yeah.
But it could be a coincidence, though.
I'm going to copyright the trick line. Just saying.
Go for it.
like, let's be real here. Like, people are like, they come for Shawn Michaels because, like, it's never like just saying like sanity has left the building, but at least it's never boring.
No, it's not. And that is a pro for the way Sean books, because it is never boring.
I'm pretty sure he just wakes up in the morning and decides the day of the PLE what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
He probably just walked past. He probably just walked past him in the street and was like, "You know what? Come on the show."
Yeah, you and Dave LaGreca, come here.
Yeah.
Like, do you think Bubba Ray Dudley and Dave LaGreca just hang out randomly on streets?
Yeah.
Waiting to get invites.
Yeah. Well, it worked.
The messed up thing is it paid off. Like, the whole Bubba Ray Dudley at the end thing, it paid off a show long angle, apparently. Because Ridge ended up, like, interrupting Dave LaGreca and him on the pre-show. Mm-hmm. And then after the ambulance match, also interrupted them again. But it's just like, of all the people to do this with, Ridge Holland and Bubba Ray Dudley.
I think it definitely generates a bit of interest in the match itself, because without him there, you don't really care.
you got me, like, Shawn Michaels, you have done it again.
God damn it, Michaels.
But I don't want to see it. Like, we know what this is leading to. This is leading to eventually Ridge versus Trick. I'm like, there is nothing that makes me want to see that match at all.
What if we put Bubba Ray Dudley in a ref shirt for that match?
Oh God!
You might have sold me on it.
Devon's the special guest timekeeper.
Of course, yeah. But instead of the ring bell, it's him going testify.
I love it.
Now,
I love it, but I hate it.
If this all happens, we know someone's watching the show.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Right. And that was the end of Halloween Havoc. Which does unfortunately bring an end to this episode of the podcast. Ruff, where can people find you? Is it just Twitter?
You can find me on Twitter at RUFFMANE main, Ruff Main on Twitter.
And Frozzy, where can people find you nowadays?
Frozzy89 on X or Twitter as it is now. You should still have my overlays, DP. If you've deleted them, I'll be disappointed.
No, it's on screen right now.
All right, sound. I can't see that, can I? But yeah, and then on Me Head Son Pod 1 for anything English football related to the Premier League. Yeah, I do something with some guys over there that are audio only, so you will find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Yeah, good fun.
Cool. And if you feel so inclined to follow me on Twitter, I don't post much on there, but I do sometimes. It is just my name, Depreezy, on Twitter. In terms of the show itself and the outlets, they're just on the right and left hand side here. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter or X, and Twitch. Twitch is a thing that's coming potentially. I don't know. I keep saying it. I don't know.
Yeah. DP's also big in the TikTok game, guys. Go and have a look. I revel in DP's TikToks that he posts.
That show me a sentence that you say. That you revel in my TikToks.
I low-key want to see if DP tries to do like TikTok dances.
Oh, there's some. There is some. Oh, Leon. Oh, I am gonna link you up, buddy.
Link it, dude.
Link, DP, link in bio. That's what you need to be doing.
Oh god. It's mad. Like the most recent one I posted as well. Like it's got like near 15k views.
Nice.
It's mad.
So you only need to hit on like a specific thing on there, and the algorithm goes nuts, and you get a shed load of views.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't take much to go viral on there.
Does not.
Oh.
But no, with that in mind, that has been HCW Show Squared for this edition. I've been Dan, I've been joined by Ruff and by Frozzy, and
yeah,
we'll bid you adieu.
Adieu.